And we are back. Thank you guys. So Mike, this is one of those days, man, that we talked about it before coming on the show today, that prior to Out of Your Falcon Mind, we probably would have said, you know what? I got things that's going to make me happy in my life, and I'm going to go do those things and not continue to sit and watch
Hmm.
what I'm watching on the TV. Don't you? Would you agree with that?
And that's exactly. I grabbed the remote probably right after halftime. I was like, no, I mean, why would I finish watching this? Then I said, oh yeah, the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But there was no other reason to watch that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I even tweeted out, I think I tweeted out if anybody has something that they want to do that's fun or productive with their lives to go right ahead. And
Hmm.
we
Hmm.
encourage you to, as we're going to sit here and watch this shit show for you. And we will
Hmm.
report back on our recap show as we are now.
Hmm.
So if you didn't stick around, I don't have anything better to report to you. No matter when you left, because it all sucked after that. It didn't
Hmm.
matter when you
Hmm.
left. It was just one of those games, dude, that I mean, embarrassing, dead inside, all those kind of things kind of come to mind.
Hmm.
And I don't, I mean, and we were kind of positive on the preview show because of how we played against the Saints.
Really positive in retrospect.
And maybe that's like you asked me why I picked the Falcons and the score I picked, and it was, I think I said blind ignorance. Well,
Hmm.
that was probably a little bit correct there. But
Hmm.
it I was thinking all day going into it, and we talked about it too, that this is probably, and you said it last time on the show, you said this is going to be our biggest test of the year, so we're going to see
Hmm.
where we're at. Outside of the Bucks game, this is going to be our biggest test of the year. um
Hmm.
and I think maybe the worst thing that for us was them getting beat like they did against Denver last week.
Yes.
Because if they needed to be woken up, or if they were feeling good about themselves and they got beat by Denver, well, hell, that changed that really quickly.
Hmm.
Because they realized that we're good, but we had to show up and beat every team that's on our schedule.
Hmm.
So I just going. So we'll just get into the game now, so we can get it over with. Talking about the quarter breakdown. Normally, we'll bring you guys some stats. I didn't look at a damn thing, man. To be honest with you, I'm not looking at.
It's no
Here,
need
here
to.
that I got it. Here's the stats for today. Cowboys offense, a lot. The Falcons offense, barely anything. Uh,
Hmm.
Falcons scored barely anything. The Cowboys scored a lot more than we did. Um,
Hmm.
we turned the ball over 3 times, I believe it was. The Cowboys turned it over once, I believe. Um, and they won the
Hmm.
game handily, like it was like they ran through us like a knife through butter. So that's pretty much the stats for the game. Would you agree?
Hmm.
Yes.
I think that was spot on, buddy. I mean, you could
Nailed
make
it.
a movie out of what you just said.
I nailed it.
Nailed it. Yeah.
I mean numbers and everything. So anyway, starting off in the first quarter, pretty easy drive for Dallas, right down the field. We had they we the first touchdown was to CeeDee Lamb, and Fabian Moreau ended up being on Lamb, which not ideal, but I mean,
Hmm.
what we talked about last week, Terrell's going to be on either Cooper or on
We
Lamb,
said, yep.
and he was not on Lamb for that score. And not that he would have done anything better. I mean, maybe, but either way, Lamb scored pretty easy. Um, and then we come down, thought we had a first down with a pass to Gage. He clearly dropped the ball with a good hit by Jerron
Hmm.
Curse.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so we had to settle for 3, which was unfortunate. Then we had the ball. We got the ball back. We actually made a stop, which was which
Mind
turned out to be
blown.
one of the few stops of the game. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And then we went for it on 4th and 7 on the 32. And at first I was like, man, it's kind of early to be chasing points, but at the same time, we know we're going to score points to beat this
Hmm.
team
Hmm.
because they're going to score. So
And
I
I
don't really
think
mind that decision, to be honest with you.
no, I think he knew what type of day it was going to be.
Yeah.
And I think that it was a bit early. You don't want your team to get mentally behind, but
Yeah.
points wise, you got to put up 7. So I think he was on that side of the field and was like, I'm going for it every time I'm
Yeah.
on this side of the field.
Yeah. And I saw a ton of tweets. I mean, just hammering Smith about going for it there and not taking the points. But in retrospect, 43-6 would have been the final score.
That's
So,
what I'm, yeah.
I mean,
And that
You
wouldn't
have
have
to be,
changed the
yeah, no, you got to be
trajectory of the
realistic.
game.
I mean, you got to be, you know what our defense can and can't do. You know what their offense is capable of. We said it last week on the preview show. They're number one in point in yards per game. So with all their
Mm-hmm.
weapons, and they had an off week last week, they're going to get right at some point. So I mean, you know, like I said, I mean, I just hate being negative all the time. So I think that's why another reason why we were feeling pretty positive. We had the win. But
Mm-hmm.
if we look at it, you know, just solely based on talent alone, then we would have been like, yeah, you know what, Amari Cooper, CD Lamb, Gallup coming back
Yeah.
into the lineup, healthy Dak, you know, doing well, Zeke, Pollard, who ran over us today as well. And then the playmakers they have on defense, even missing
Mm-hmm.
Gregory, you know, I mean, we probably
Mm-hmm.
would have been a little bit more maybe realistic in our score predictions and our optimism. But you know, that's what a fan's being all about, man. You got to be optimistic about your team. You can't always be down in the dumps, right? So
And you can't just always say that if I did that, then I would pick games like I would count up the talented players per team. Whoever had the
right,
most talented players, I would just be like, they're gonna win.
exactly.
It
That's not
like
always the case.
sometimes the Falcons play above their weight class,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes they play below it. Today they played like, have you ever seen toddlers play like football or soccer? And it's just cute, but that they on the field, but they don't know really know. And you think that you cheer them on,
It's just
that's what
cute.
it felt like. Yeah, like it's cute that you dressed up in your real helmet and pads and tried.
That's a dude.
Like that's what it felt like.
That's probably the perfect description of today.
Yeah,
It was cute for them to show
it
up and
was
put on
cute.
their
Yep,
uniforms, and they did a
yep.
really good job of trying.
Your family
Yeah.
got to see you. You showed off with some girlfriends at the crib, like,
Man,
but it was nice. It was nice of you to come.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That sums it up, man. We could probably end the show right there,
Mhm.
but we'll go ahead and just run through a few more of this disaster. So, um, Dallas ended up getting the ball back after we went for it, of course, and didn't get it. So they get it back. They go for it on 4th and 5, and Lamb just makes a pretty easy
Mhm.
catch, pitch and catch.
Mhm.
That drive ends with a touchdown, 14-3. We get it back. We go 3 and out, and I couldn't understand a little bit of the first and second down running. Um,
Yeah.
when you're down, and I mean,
Yeah.
I know you want to try to establish run, but like we talked about, we can't really run all that well. And you're trying to, you know, you're going to have to score, and you're putting your offense at 3rd and long almost every time. That's just a
Almost
recipe
every
for,
time.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's a recipe for disaster, man. It's not going to work. So I didn't get that really all that much. Um, So anyway, we go 3 and out. Dallas scores again. They go forward again on 4th, and they complete a pass to Gallup on the goal, almost on the first on the 1 yard line. 1st and goal. Zeke scores easy 21-3. Then we
Did you
keep running it.
notice
Hmm?
now during that period of the game? Did you notice how much time Dak had? He
Man,
wasn't even getting like, I'm talking about like he wasn't even under duress. He was
yeah.
literally standing saying, okay, let me, like he
Well,
was standing still. He wasn't bouncing. I said, oh man, this is bad.
we jokingly talked about last week or a few days ago on the preview show too. Would our guys even be able to handle Tyron Smith's backup? And the answer was no.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The
So
answer was no. We found out today.
yeah. So Tyron Smith probably could have done it with a broken arm, to be honest. I mean, he probably could have just put one arm out and,
Yeah.
you know. Um, so we keep running the ball on 1st and 2nd. We go 3rd and long, and then a 4-man rush easily gets to Matt. He's sacked 3 and out. Mayfield got absolutely burned on that play. This is in the second quarter. Dallas goes right down the field, no problem at all, 28-3 with Dak to Lamb again. And by that time, it was almost halftime, and they had double the time of possession that we had. Also, not a good
Mm-hmm.
recipe for winning.
They can
Um,
run the ball.
yeah. Then Micah Parsons in the next possession with the big sack. He went right by McGarry like he was standing still, made a little outside move, cut back in, and he had no
Mm-hmm.
chance. The offense literally at that point could do nothing. I mean, just not a damn thing. And then to make matters worse, we get the punt block, and this is where I believe it got personal. Those assholes went for two.
I saw
Oh,
that. Yeah.
man.
I'm gonna tell you, it was like break them,
Yeah,
break the spirit, break the spirit. I want them to know we could do anything we want to them.
yeah.
So,
Well, I mean,
like,
Yeah. And I mean, it
Yeah.
sucks. I mean, it pissed me off. I was like, you know what? Do something about it. I mean, if you don't want to fucking
Yeah,
be in
like
this
yeah.
position, don't be down 36-3.
If you don't
I
want to get
mean,
bullied, stand up for yourself.
you're in this is, I mean, if
Yeah.
it was, I mean, and I don't want to, I know shit like this happens, but we're fans, dude. And like to be embarrassed like that in the first half, I mean, that's literally, like I said, I watched Alabama 49-3. That's almost a damn, like,
That's a college score.
top five, college team beating the hell out of some lowly, not lowly, but, smaller school, I mean, just that's that type of score. That shouldn't happen in the NFL
Mm-hmm.
very often. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, but here we are. So the third quarter starts. We Mike Davis gets hit right in the chest with the ball that should have been caught for a first down. And so that stops that drive. Had to punt, and it was actually an amazing punt. That was maybe the highlight of the game, that punt that went down to the 1 yard line.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. And then we started moving the ball actually pretty
When
well.
hold on, man.
Yeah.
When the highlight of your game was a punt, what type of game did you have, man?
Yeah.
Christ, or like the highlight of our game was a punt.
Yep.
This is a somber day.
Yeah.
Please continue.
Yeah. And so we started moving the ball actually with Wayne Gallman, which I thought, if he can stay healthy, he probably should be in there more than Mike Davis because he had more of a burst.
Yeah.
He was running
More energy.
downhill. He could make
Yeah.
guys miss. I mean, for what little we have as a run game, he can probably add to it, at least from what we saw today. And it looked like Cordell had a little knock too, so he was kind of out most of the game.
Oh man, yeah, that was. I knew it was over after that.
Yeah, which sucks. So moving a little bit, and then the Cowboys ended up making an interception. Looked like Zacchaeus. They started bobbling the ball back and forth, and they came down with it. We did not. But on that possession by the Cowboys, Richie Grant, beautiful punch on the ball from Zeke, and we recover. Richie Grant played good. I mean, I hope we see more of Richie Grant on the field. I know he's young, but I mean, when he's on the field, he seems to make plays.
Yeah,
and we drafted him
like
high,
almost
so
every time. Yeah,
I kind of like to see him more on the field.
Yeah, I would wonder why he's not. Like they don't really let him play that much.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's something maybe, I mean, obviously we're not at practice. Maybe it's something that Dean P sees that we don't see, or maybe he's not grasping the playbook or the scheme quite as well as maybe Jerron Harmon and some of the other guys. I don't know. I would just like to see him more on at this point. I mean, we just need him to get some experience and maybe work it out. Anyway, so we recover, and then Matt dude, I mean, like we said before, we're going to be hard on Matt if we need to be. He throws a terrible ball. I don't know where the hell he was throwing, dude.
And there was no excuse. Hey, man, that was like he has had 2 picks. He threw one to Calvin Ridley that got taken out his hands. He threw that one to Zacchaeus that got taken out his hands today. When you do that, I won't blame you. Man, that one with Diggs, and Diggs is an amazing player. I'm not taking nothing away from him. That was a horrific pass. He just threw it up. He literally, man, you can't just throw it up.
Well, I don't.
Man, what are you doing? And it ain't like you got Calvin Johnson. You can't do that.
And if you watch
that was a ridiculous pass.
Even watching the play in real time, and I don't even know who. I apologize because we're recording this right after the game, so we haven't watched anything at all. We just literally went straight to record after the game ended. But I don't know who the receiver was on the outside, but he immediately threw his arm up. And
I thought it was Kyle Pitts.
He was no, Pitts was who he was going to, right? Like who hit that?
I got to look at it again. I was just
somebody had cut the route to the left, and somebody was going down the sideline.
Was going,
and he looked open.
He threw it in the middle of the 2 players. He just threw it like one of y'all get it.
Yeah, I don't know what he saw there. I don't know if he was trying to go to.
You no longer have Julio Jones.
If he was trying to go to the receiver, no, I mean he had to be trying to go on the pitch because I mean it was badly underthrown if he was trying to go to the guy going down the sideline. But
and I understand he was under duress and he had to get it off, but you don't do that when Diggs is on the field. He's almost when Diggs is on. You don't do that to Diggs' side. Like it's like doing it to Deion's side. Ridiculous play by Matt Ryan.
Yeah, that was not good. And then Dallas goes again, they get the ball back and they go for it on 4th and 2, which is again just kind of like rubbing it in your face.
Yeah.
They didn't have.
We'll
I mean,
do what we want
they
to
were up
do.
33 points. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so they score. It's 43-3, and then Josh Rosen enters. Matt goes to the bench
Mm-hmm.
like he should at that point. Gallman continued to impress, man. To be honest, he kept running the ball well
Mm-hmm.
for what we had there.
He shifted. Yep.
Yeah, and then Rosen's he throws a pass that got tipped, and of course picked off. Why not? Why not just close out? And then the
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys take Dak out of the game, and then we just kind of
That's when I knew, like, when he threw that pick, I said, not only are we getting stomped, but we try to punt, they block the punt. The backup come in, he throw an interception. Like, there's nothing good coming out of it. Like, everything that can go wrong is going wrong. Like,
yep,
we will get on every show where they discuss the games, will be the highlight, like the, oh my God, like they got stomped.
yeah,
And the Cowboys was really, they, like, you could tell that the world kind of trashed them and was like, are they for real? Is it a
right,
fluke? Because they came out mad. Because all them
mm-hmm.
2-point conversions was like, man, like they had something personal that we did. Like, yeah, we gonna show y'all. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just doing it because I can.
Yep,
Like,
yeah, I agree. And I mean, I saw a bunch of things about this is a Dan Quinn revenge game, which is
he
funny to
was so
me.
happy.
Which is funny to me because, and this is a perfect tweet for it, because this is from John Fricky at 92.9 The Game here in Atlanta. He tweeted, "This isn't Dan Quinn revenge. This is Dan Quinn seeing firsthand what he left us and why he was fired. Period.
Now that was a great point. And I'll be honest about that. That was a great point.
Period. Yeah. So I mean, you're looking at, I mean, just like I said, it's not even worth getting into the stats. You could just chalk it up to as this is a tape that you burn. You never look at it ever
Yeah.
again. It's terrible. We were 1 for 10 on third down conversions, and we actually didn't make our first third down conversion until I think there was 5 or 6 minutes left to go in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's
And you would think that in the NFL, you always have a shot just because of how the league is. You always
mm-hmm.
have a shot to beat a team, right?
Yep.
But some Sundays, there's a clear um distinguishing factor of like talent, like, you, right? So it
Yep.
doesn't seem fair where you're saying one of these teams clearly has a lot more talent than the other one. So
Yeah.
it doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem close. Man, they were really on offense. They did what they wanted to. When they wanted to
All
run,
day.
they ran. When
Mm-hmm.
they wanted to throw, they threw. When Dak wanted to do, he did whatever he wanted to do. It was nothing they tried that we stopped them from doing, that they had to try to do something else. It was not one thing.
Yep.
And on defense, they did what they wanted to do. When you can pressure Matt Ryan, you can beat the Falcons.
Absolutely. Yeah, and he was under pressure today with, even like I said, even with Gregory being gone. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it didn't
Mm-hmm.
matter. He was still getting pressured, and like I said, he had the one bad throw, which didn't help him at all. But this is one of those days, man. Like I said, it's embarrassing as a fan because, I mean, it's a professional team. These guys are all grown ass men that are being paid, to do a job, and when it doesn't when it's not even I mean, remotely close. It looks like you're playing. It looked like they're playing in different leagues. I mean, it looked like
Mm-hmm.
you got
It
the
did.
Cowboys
It looked
playing
like
in the NFL, and then you
it.
got
It
yeah,
looked like a college team playing varsity.
right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like a
Mm-hmm.
clear distinguisher of, oh, they're clearly better. Like, this doesn't even seem like the same league.
Yeah.
Man, I want to share something with y'all that is really, I've been three emotions over this in a few minutes. I want to share. I've been really pissed off. Um, then I was sad, and then then I thought it was funny. So then I decided to share it. Okay. I want to quote y'all three quotes that I don't know who did our game. Do you know who it was, John? Who was
Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olson.
Okay. Now I don't know which one of them said this, but this is three quotes from the guys that called our game today. There's a fine line between being aggressive and being reckless. That's what they said on our 4th and 7 call.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is like playing Madden on easy.
I missed that one. They said that
Okay.
one?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, shit.
And then they said the Falcons are getting absolutely waxed. And I have never heard like announcers talk like that. And I thought it was, at first I was sad, then I got mad, then I think it's hilarious. This is like playing Madden on easy.
Yeah.
When the guy is calling, I'm gonna tell you, those guys get paid to never say this one is over because they don't want you to turn the channel. They lose
Right.
ratings, right? But the guy had to cut himself off. If y'all was paying attention when the half ended, he said something like, if the Falcons don't score here, then this one, you know what I mean? Like he had to cut himself, like, oh, I'm not supposed to say.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It's no reason to keep watching this. So like
Yeah.
you can go ahead and turn the channel, but yeah, it was such embarrassment when they got the Falcons are getting absolutely waxed. I said, man, shit. I just thought, like, man, I never heard him talk like it was embarrassing. We gonna get dragged. My mom, I told y'all,
Oh man.
I have the sweetest mom on the planet. She's so nice. My mom, unless the Cowboys win, I told y'all she's her worst self. She texts me, "Great win, son."
Mm.
Now that's mom like jabbing me, like when she know I'm down. Like just great wins.
I thought she might just feel sorry for you today and just be like, you know what?
No,
I mean,
she
that
said
poor
great
boy.
one, son. And I'm gonna tell y'all this. I almost put money on the game. I almost was like, because it's just fun to bet with my mom or my brother when we play the Washington football team or Dallas. Something told me not to do that because I lost money on the Redskin game when I bet my brother. And I would have bet this, and I would have known I lost my money after the first quarter.
But yeah, you would have been, yeah. You could go ahead and cash that app right over to her. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a point in that game where it was 28-3 and my stomach just started turning.
Oh, I know. And I was the same way. I was pissed at the beginning, like seeing like, okay, like, well, are we really going to do this today? Like, well, why, let's wake up, And then it went to just, I don't know, like just kind of feeling nothingness, just kind of empty. And then I laughed a little bit, a few times, because you just kind of have to at some point. Otherwise, you'll go crazy.
I just want to say this. They say that you got to be a monk and study Buddhist teachings and try to meditate and be enlightened and all that. No, if you want to feel empty, if you want it to be clear in your being, just watch the Falcons.
Yeah.
That's the path to enlightenment, is watching the Falcons game, is the path to enlightenment. You will think nothing, like no thoughts. You will have no feelings. You will be dead inside.
Yep. At least once every 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah. Come
Maybe
get
more.
enlightened. Yeah. Man, it's so, we haven't won a convincing game all year where we really beat somebody. We went on last second kicks.
Yeah.
And then I can't even, I'm gonna tell you why I feel like I lied on the last show, or a hypocrite or something, because I just feel like all that I said about the team, I no longer feel anymore. Like I'm thinking now about now it looked like you said initially, like 2 games, maybe we might, it just looked like a bad team. It looked like a follies and bloopers team, like they had nothing going. So we was just talking, man, we like the coaching, we like the play calling, we see everything improving. Now I'm like, it looked like it didn't, I don't even know what to say. I don't like, it looked like, it looked like, I don't even know what it looked like. That's why I can't even know what it looked like.
And initially last week we talked about, we didn't know what to expect, because we really had no idea. Like, and you really didn't.
Said it.
Well, because we had seen 2 different teams throughout the season, and up until this point, the Eagles game was our worst performance. I hope to God this is our worst performance for the rest of the season. I can't imagine it being much worse than this.
Oh,
I mean, the Bills scare the hell out of me. I don't know what's going to happen in that game. But it's like we say every week as well, it's the NFL, you never know. But sometimes the talent just outplays lack of talent, and that's kind of what
Mm-hmm.
happened today. I mean, those guys were ready for it. They were like we said on paper, they're clearly more talented than we are. And if anything, it shows us. And we joked about it last week. I mean, yeah, the season ended last week. We were technically a playoff team, so we had a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
optimism, a little bit of like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was more or less like not surprised, but just kind of like we didn't expect to be there at really 4-4. We probably
Mm-hmm.
expected the record to be worse. So we're like, well, shit, maybe we got more than we think.
And we had
But
just beat the Saints.
yeah, and we just beat the Saints, so we were the feeling was high. But
Mm-hmm.
um, I think today just shows you. I mean, clearly, if we want to compete, we've got a long ways to go. I think that's just what it
A
shows you.
long way, because I'm gonna tell you why that shows you. You remember when we said this will be the test, just because this is the good team. So now we see where you at, because
Right.
now we saw somebody who can really fight,
Mm-hmm.
and you got beat up, savage, like world star,
Yeah.
like beat up,
Yeah.
like so. You don't even. There's no point in the playoffs. I mean, it would
Right.
be nice to say, but it's no point.
No. No.
No.
And I mean, Dante Fowler came back today, and I'm not going to get on him too bad because he's just coming off of an injury. But I mean, you could if you didn't tell me he was playing, I never would have known.
And I'm
Um,
about had it with him after today. I'm not a fan anymore. I don't want
but
to
I
let
mean, there
people
was
go.
just there when we just and Grady, of course, got in the backfield 2 or 3, maybe
Mm-hmm.
more than that times. He was pressure. I mean, like doing what he does. We don't have anybody else uh, that can help him out, unfortunately. So we just have holes, and we've got holes everywhere. So it's kind of like, where do you start to build? And it's we'll talk about this more as the season goes on and going in the next season. But and like we've said before, I don't think you've got to start on the lines, man. You've got to start on a defensive line. You got to start on the, offensive line. That is, it's not sexy normally. It's not a sexy pick. It's not a skill position. It's not a Julio pick. It's not, a top running back. But man, like if you don't have those pieces, then you're screwed. I mean,
I just
that
look at how Dallas has always done it. They've always focused on that when
yeah.
they was good in the 90s, and they doing it now. Like they draft, they go get offensive and defensive line. They
Mm-hmm.
know once we get those, we could put the rest of that. Like you said, it's just not sexy.
No,
Like those the jerseys that don't get bought and you don't know their name, but without that, you look like we don't stand a chance against those teams.
nope,
Dak Prescott, again, I keep saying this, when you don't have a pass rush, Sam Darnold can tear you apart. The
correct.
quarterback will look 10 times better than he actually is, because he's not, there's no fear of getting hurt or getting
Mm-hmm.
hit. So like we have that problem. And then Matt never enjoys that luxury of, oh, I get to go through all my progressions. He get to probably look 2 directions and then throw.
Yeah, we said last week 2.3 seconds is what his
And then
average
gotta
drop
come
back
on,
is.
man. So he never has that luxury of actually getting to survey the entire field and
Yeah,
take his time and make a decision.
yeah,
Never.
yeah, yeah. It's yeah. So I mean, looking forward, we got a short week. We got the Patriots, who just beat the living shit out of the Browns today. The
Mm-hmm.
Browns that have a pretty good defense, I might
Mm-hmm.
say. So that's I don't know I mean. You'd like to think kind of like what happened with the Cowboys last week. They have a really rough week. They come back strong. That's typically, honestly, that's kind of what happens a lot of times in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You have a really terrible week and then you come back. Now, the only downside is it is a short week. We don't know what the injury situation looks like. Hopefully, Cordell's nothing serious. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of another kind of toss a coin and see what kind of, I don't know what to expect from this one either, to be honest. I mean,
This is
I,
the first time that I've ever gotten to see the effects of not having your primary receiver
yeah,
since I've been a Falcons fan. Like we always had somebody, we have no receiver now that is could be considered a primary
no,
without really. So this is
no,
the first time I'm just looking at it now. It's like fighting with one hand tied behind your back. Like you have one weapon and they know about him and you have nothing else. So,
yeah,
and you can't like because even if Calvin was on the field as a decoy, it would be way better,
Yeah.
right? But when he's not even there, there's no, you're trying to score 35 points against with one weapon. You
Yeah.
can't do that.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I mean, and we've said it over and over again, this team has such a low, I mean, just a slim margin of error. I mean, they've got to be almost perfect. And against a team like Dallas or the Patriots or insert better team than us, we've got to be better. I mean, we've got to be on point on offense and on defense almost all the time. I mean, I mean, we can't afford mistakes. We can't afford to miss on opportunities. And I mean, it's just, if it doesn't all line up, then we're probably not going to win the game, unfortunately, just because we don't have the depth. We don't have just the talent on our starters. I mean, if we lose, like I was like, dude, if Cordell goes down, I mean, that's huge. I mean, if you think about who we have behind him,
then what do you have?
I mean, and it's I don't know. It's just, like I said, man, it may be, the Saints game may have been just an apparition, or aberration. I mean, and a lot of it's, Trevor Simeon's first game. Maybe, like I said, maybe we were a little bit too up on it, but but it was the Saints, so you're going to be up. You're going to be excited. So regardless, but yeah. So I don't know, man. It's just going to be interesting to see how what team comes out on Thursday, what kind of fight they show. I expect them to show up. I expect them to fight. I don't think these coaches especially would allow a team to get down and not show up. And Matt too. Matt's going to be just as pissed as any coach, and probably more pissed about the performance. So they're going to have to turn it around in a short amount of time. They're going to have to get look themselves in the mirror and say, like, okay, we're maybe not the best team. We're maybe not a great team or really even a good team, but we can't get beat like that. We can't let another team in the NFL just embarrass us like that. Because I mean, I would be, I don't, like I said, I mean, it's embarrassing as a fan. I mean, I can't even imagine the players, like how they feel after a beatdown like that.
Man, I'm gonna tell you this. It's like, this is the only thing about being a Falcon fan, is like, if you care, it's literally embarrassing sometimes. There's not a lot of football teams that embarrass the fans, that like where it's a joke or it's funny. It's like where they win or they lose. It's not embarrassing though. Yeah. The Falcons lose in embarrassing fashion. Sometimes like they blow Super Bowl leads, they blow second half leads. And then today, by like getting beat like that, I just hate that all the funny, crazy stories from Atlanta Falcons. It's pretty like much. Florida. If you ever hear a crazy story, the person live in Florida. Most likely. If you hear any news story where somebody did something outrageous, just watch how many times the person is from Florida. Yeah, that's how I feel like with the Falcons. When you hear like something goofy happen in the second half, or just throughout, it's like a laughing stock. You get beat like this. This is not a professional effort, in my opinion. Like, right. This is embarrassing.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. And so all we can do is hope that next week, or that this week on Thursday, ends up a little bit better. But and just a quick mention here, this has nothing to do with the game, but if any of y'all didn't see, Julio Jones was placed on IR about a day ago. Up until then, he'd had 21 catches for 336 yards and 0 touchdowns while missing 3 games this season. So, I mean, like we've talked about before, like I'll never hate on Julio, because he gave pretty much all that he could to us until he started breaking down a little bit and started getting injuries and missing time, which is why and he wanted out, which I'm honestly, I mean, there was no bigger Julio fan than me. Like I said, I'm an Alabama fan. I got his number 11 jersey hanging up in there. I love the pick, everything, but it was time for him to go because he couldn't stay on the field. And we got a second rounder next year, and we got, I think, a fourth rounder in 23 for him from the Titans. That's looking better and better every day. And I hate to say it because, like I said, I wish the best for him, but we won that trade, I'm pretty sure.
And I'm with you on saying I hate to say it, but the truth is the truth. Like I wanted him to go to a team where he had a shot to have a ring,
Hmm.
because I always wanted him. I think he's one of the best to ever do it. So I wanted
Yeah.
him to get that ring so he would be in that conversation with the best.
Hmm.
Um, so I was hoping he went and kill. He ain't in our division.
Nope.
I hope he went over there and had a field day, and
But you know what?
just it didn't work out for him, man. I'm sad to hear that, honestly.
No, but you know what? He still may get that chance because the Titans are something to be reckoned with this year, even without him.
Yes, yeah, even
So,
without him.
so he may get that ring, even though he may not be on the field that much. He still may get a Super Bowl ring in one way, shape, or
Yeah.
form.
In
Never
one
know.
way, yep.
But anyway, guys, I mean, that's pretty much all we got today. There's not a whole lot of good to be talking about, to be honest.
None.
So, I mean, like I said, on normal recap shows, we'll go into the stats a little bit more, but I just didn't feel like it was even, nobody cares today. Nobody
I
listen to
mean,
this. If you want to hear about how many yards they had, then just go ahead and look online and pull it up. Cause I mean, it's just not
yeah.
worth it for us to do it. It was just one of those
If
days as fans, you just like, screw it. That's,
if
yeah.
if you ever seen somebody get stomped, you didn't wonder how many kicks did they take today. It was just like they just got stomped. So
Yeah.
it's no need to count the stomps.
No,
You
no.
know,
Yeah.
it's no need for stats. They all go not in our favor. Just know that.
Correct. Yes.
Mm.
So we will be back. Today is Sunday. We will be back probably, what do you think, Mike? Tuesday for a
I
preview
say
show.
Tuesday. Yep.
So we'll be the preview show for the Patriots game on
We
Thursday.
could
We'll
do
be out.
tomorrow if you want. I don't mind tomorrow.
Yeah, we could. No,
We could do
yeah.
tomorrow, Tuesday. It don't matter.
All right. So at the latest, it'll be Tuesday. Maybe Tuesday
Yeah.
because we'll be able to see a little bit more
So
of
we
the
can get
injury.
some information. Yeah.
Yeah, get some
Okay.
information on what's going on. And if it goes real bad on Thursday, then I'll
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and do some research on this cap situation that we got, and we may spend half the show talking about that if it goes real bad on Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
It
anyway,
has the potential, like this could break the team, or
mhm.
this could rally the team. And
Yeah,
I don't know the team. I don't know them well enough. They surprise me every week, so I won't
yeah,
speak on it. But it's going if they lose, like, because the Patriots are good, if they
mhm.
lose to them in by a nice amount, it may be like, okay, we terrible. Let's throw in not throwing the towel, but they may break the player spirit.
Yeah,
And I just want to see how they handle it.
yeah. Now you got to nut up
Where are we
as a
playing at
player,
Thursday?
huh?
Where are we playing Thursday?
It's at home. It's here.
We need a home game.
Yeah, it's here.
Yeah, we need a
Um,
home game.
Yeah. So I mean, and I mean, like I said, right. I mean, the players have to nut up now and show what they're about. Are they gonna,
Now it's on. Yep.
now's the time. I mean, and you gonna roll over the rest of the season or the next game, or you gonna
You
show what
you
you got?
just saw how the Cowboys came back when the world was trashing them.
Hmm.
So we getting trashed this week. We should come. I know it's a short week. You should come back with that same tenacity and ferocity that Dallas had for us.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna put this ball down your throat.
Yeah. And if we lose, I mean, I hope it's, if we lose and we go out, go out shooting, I mean, then okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't want to be blown out like this. I don't want to have, I mean, I want it to be competitive. And if we lose it at the end of the game, or if we just lose because, quite honestly, we're just not as good as them, that's fine. But I got to
Mm-hmm.
see some heart, and I got to see some like effort for 60 minutes, and
Mm-hmm.
hope to God the defense isn't on the field as much as they were today, because I don't care who
Mm-hmm.
you are, how conditioned you are. If you're on the field as much as our defense was today, you're going to be tired as hell in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So,
And you can't get tired in the fourth quarter against good teams.
and our
It can
depth,
tear
we
you
don't we
apart.
don't have the depth to rotate people in and out. That's
Mm-hmm.
that'll work that way. So anyway, guys, wish today was a better, more fun topic to discuss. But it is what it is. It's the life of being a Falcons fan. Sometimes that's how it rolls. So
Yeah, it's a sad day today, y'all. We embarrassed ourselves, but all we can do is hope that they fire the boys up and they come out on Thursday shooting.
that's right. So let's hope for that. And guys, we will catch you guys on either at the latest on Tuesday, reach out to us, send us messages, comments. We'll tweet out when the shows are available. If you're following us on Twitter, if you could retweet that for other Falcons fans to see, that'd be fantastic.
And I love the interaction, man. I gotta say that again. So if y'all got a suggestion, a comment, or a question, you gotta use the Twitter, use the email, or use Instagram. We
That's
will
right.
read it. We will address you live on the show.
That's right. So, guys, we appreciate it, and we will catch you guys on Tuesday previewing the Patriots game that will be in Atlanta on Thursday night. Mike, you have a great rest of your Sunday, buddy. I hope it's better than what it's been so far.
You too, sir. And you
I
guys have a good one. We gotta be out of our Falcon minds today.
Yes, sir, and we are out.
Peace.